Hi, I'm Ethan Kwan, and welcome to part 2 of how to make a car simulation in Scratch. Now, last time we left off with this awesome painting tool. Let me just show you. Look at that! Whoa, we have art. No way! And then we can press space, and then we can change the color, and we can erase, which is amazing. So, yeah, good job, guys. That was the painting tutorial. Okay. So, good job, guys. We are done this tutorial. Yep, that's it. Okay. Thank you for watching. Yeah. Okay. No, seriously. Okay. So, today what we're going to be doing is we are going to be adding the cars in. We need a place for the cars to start. I want the cars to start somewhere around here and then end over here. It doesn't really matter if they end. I'm going to set it to the side. Right around here. So, that's going to be X 200, Y 0. Okay. So, what I'm going to do is... inside reset, we are going to go ahead and duplicate this, and get rid of the pen up at the beginning, and get rid of the erase all, and yeah, okay, that's good. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna set the pen color to our blackish color, which is the road color, and then set the pen size to 60. And then pen down and pen up. Now we need to go to a position, so let's just make it go to position X, -200, Y, 0. And then drag that underneath there and attach all the scripts back together again. And as you can see, now we have a starting point for our cars. Now I want the cars to go that way. That's very centered arrow we got here. Okay. Okay, so, yeah, so let's get the cars actually working. So, we're going to create a new sprite, and we can name it Car. So, this is, hang on, I forgot to rename it. Part 2, okay. Okay, let's create a main body for the car. So, this is not going to be anything amazing. This is just going to be a line, so, Let's make it a let's make it a line. Yeah. Okay, we're gonna make a line, and we're gonna color it reddish, because that means we can change the color effect to anything later, and then we can color the car like that. Because I don't want to create a bunch of costumes with different colors. I just want to use the color effect. Okay, outline 1. Let's set it to 5, and let's just see how that looks. Let's zoom in, and then let's create a line. Let's just say 4 pixels long. No, let's say 2 pixels long. So like that. And guys, make sure to hold shift while drawing. So this will snap it. So right now I can rotate in any direction I like. If you press shift, it'll snap it to one of the 8 axes. So I'm going to just set this to the middle like this. And let's see how that looks. That is tiny. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to center this. And we are going to up the pen size. So... something like that, and then let's actually make it a bit shorter. So, this is finicky. Scratch, you need to fix this. I'm sorry, you just do. And let's just shrink the pen size a bit more. And let's just center it on the screen. On the canvas. Okay, so there's my car. It can be a bit thinner. Like that. And yeah, okay, that's a really small car. Okay, that's fine. That'll work. Okay, now we have our car. So I'm gonna name this main body. And now what we're gonna have to do is we're gonna have to make first of all, we're gonna duplicate this 3 times, like that. So now we have 4 costumes instead of 1, and all of them are cars, and they're named main body 2, main body 3, and main body 4. So I'm gonna call this first one left. I'm going to call the second one center, and I'm going to call the third one right. And I'm going to have to create another one for the back, so just name this back. Okay. Bisk. Okay, I can spell. Back. Oh, no, I can't spell. Okay. Back. Okay. So, okay, let's start from the beginning. So left, what we're gonna do is we are going to go ahead and put this to the left. So so how this is gonna work is we're gonna put sensors onto the car to detect which way it's going and if it's gonna hit something or not. So how do we do that? Well, we're gonna grab the pen tool, and we're gonna make a tiny dot. Let's just say let's go 1/4 of a diagonal. So that's gonna be here. Okay. And then what we're gonna do is we can copy that, copy that tiny dot, copy, let's just click the copy button, and we're going to paste it in here. Now, here's the thing, we want to flip this along the horizontal axis to make it go to the right. Actually, no, this is the center. Okay, go to the right and paste it. And, okay, so we want to flip this whole costume to make it go to the right instead of the left, right? But, right now, if you just click flip, this won't work. They'll still flip it along the middle of the costume, not the sprite. Now, a really neat trick is, by GriffPatch, actually, is just to draw a big square around it, and center this big square, and then click flip vertical. And make sure you haven't selected anything on this, on the square. And flip vertical, and delete the square. And there you go. Now we have a other side, like the reverse of the original. So now we have a left, and we have a right, and it's perfectly symmetrical down the middle. Sorry if that did not make sense. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and draw a center costume. So for the center, we're just going to go 1 pixel out, and let's just say 2 pixels out, like that. And let's just see, that is a tiny center. That is fine, though. Yeah, okay. So I'm just going to center this along one of these grid lines, and there we go. Now, actually, there's a small trick you can do, so we're going to go ahead and center it on the screen, and like this. And then we're just going to go and drag it back over, but instead of just dragging it, because that can go anywhere, we're going to hold shift while doing it, and it will lock onto one of these positions, just like before. So I'm going to lock it and then go 1 pixel, 2 squares over from the center. Okay, great. Now we have left, right, and center. Now, one more thing I want is back. So back might not make that much sense, but right now I'm just going to copy this dot here, copy, and paste it in this one, and then we're going to do that trick again. So we're just going to draw a big square around it, go ahead and center this, click off the square, and then flip horizontal this time. Click it once, and then delete, and as you can see, now our dot is behind it. Okay, one last step is to delete all of the center body costumes, so except for the main body. So we're going to delete it from left, delete from center, delete from right, and delete it from the back. So all of these are just dots now. They're just in different positions, and that's all we need. Okay, let's get coding. So, now we have a great way to detect collisions and if we're about to collide, and this is how it's gonna work. Let's get coding. Okay. Let's go ahead and drag a when green flag clicked, and first of all, before we do anything, I want to wait until mouse down. So I want to wait for the mouse to be clicked and us to start drawing, because that might actually be kind of useful. Okay, so what we're going to do is wait until mouse down, and then what we're going to do is duplicate this, and we're going to wait until not mouse down. So this will be so that we have time to draw the whole course. Okay. So now we're going to go ahead and keep spawning clones forever. So grab a forever loop and grab a wait 1 seconds in there. And then what we're going to do is go to control and create clone of myself. And I'm going to set this to 2 seconds and then create clone of myself. So let's just see how that looks. Let's go ahead and actually at the very beginning here, we're just going to switch costume to the main body. And then just so we can see it, we're gonna go ahead and when I start as clone, show. When I start as clone, go to random position, like that. And before we do anything else, let's just quickly make sure the main sprite is hidden. So underneath the when green flag click, we're just gonna hide, and underneath the when I start as a clone, show. Okay, so let's just see what that looks like. So as you can see, nothing is spawning, and I'm gonna start drawing a small course for them. So, like this, and then once I let go, it should take 2 seconds, and then they start spawning. There's one, and then 2 seconds later, there's another one, and yeah, great. Okay, that's good. So now we have a way to position it. Good. So now I want these clones to spawn at this point here, and lucky for us that we already know that position. That position is 200, 0. So underneath the when I start the clone, we're gonna go to X, -200, Y, 0. So this will position it at the circle here. Okay, and let's just quickly test that. So I'm just gonna draw a bunch of squiggles and let's just see. Yep, and they are all spawning right there. Okay, cool. So now what we're gonna do is we are going to create a way for them to move. So let's just for now let's just make them move forward. So we're gonna go ahead and drag a repeat until, and we're gonna repeat until touching color. Let's just grab an OR. We're gonna repeat until touching. We're gonna repeat until not touching color, and we're gonna select our road color. So repeat until not touching color. So if it's touching anything else, it will stop. Or touching. Go to sensing. Grab a touching edge. Touching edge. Okay. So right now this should not follow any rules, but okay, we have to make them move. So all we're gonna do is move 10 steps. Let's create a new variable. Actually, let's create a new private variable. So for the sprite only, variable called speed. Oh, and click OK. And at the very beginning, we're just gonna set the speed to let's just say 2. Yeah. Let's just set it to 1. 1. Okay. Set it to 1 so it goes at 1 pixel a frame, I guess. So that's like 30 pixels every second. Okay, that's fine. Okay. And inside variables, drag the speed into the move 10 steps, so it's a move speed steps. Okay. So let's test that out. So this should now repeat until it's touching either a different color or the edge. So let's just see. And this might take a bit of time, so let's just see. And yeah, so after it's not touching that color, it stopped. Okay. Instead of doing that, I want to be a bit actually no, it's fine. That's fine. Okay, repeat until not touching color, that's fine. And at the very bottom here, we're just gonna delete this clone. Okay, let's just test that again. So I shouldn't draw such a long railway. That's it. That's just the dot, and just for testing, and then it should delete once it reaches. Yep. And it deletes it deletes the clone if it's touching either the edge or the a different color. So let's just make sure the edge works. So let's just draw a and delete it. Okay, good. So now we have a deleted color. Now, one thing I'm noticing is, okay, maybe not. Okay, it's fine. Okay, so that's fine. That's I thought. Okay, we'll address that when we get there. But yeah. Okay, so let's add a bit of detection to this, because this is really, really lame, as you might notice. Okay. First thing I want to do is detect if the left edge, so left here, this one is touching the wrong color. So at the very, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna switch costume to the left costume, and we're gonna go ahead and if I'm not touching color or I'm touching the edge, actually no, instead of not touching color, we're just gonna use touching green color. So that'll trigger whenever it's touching, so that's good. So if touching color or touching edge, like that, what we're gonna do is make sure we're turning the correct way. So since that's the left, we're gonna have to turn this one. So turn clockwise by some number of degrees. Now this should also be a variable, so I'm going to create a new variable called turn speed for this sprite only. Make sure these are for the sprite only. Make sure the car speed and car turn speed are both for the sprite only. Okay, and we're just going to add at the very beginning, we're just going to set the turn speed to let's just say 6. And okay, so let's just stick turn speed into there, and let's just test that out. Okay, so first of all, at the very end, just so we can see it, I'm gonna just switch costume back to main body at the very bottom, so this will appear like nothing's ever changed, and it will be the same costume. So let's make the brush small, and then let's curve it away like this. that. And that should... Yep, so now it is turning away from the bend, which is good. Now, it should go around, yes, and then it will stop because it doesn't have any other detection working right now. So, let's get the other sides working. As you can see, it is actually working pretty well. Okay, so let's go ahead and duplicate this whole bit underneath the move speed steps. Duplicate that, and then get rid of the switch costume to the main body. And then we're just going to go ahead and add all of these. So, switch costume to right, and then we're going to turn the other direction, so turn counterclockwise, turn speed degrees. Okay, and we're just going to duplicate that and stick that right in there. And then, let's just see if that works. So, let's try out different turning, and let's make it go the other way. Let's see what this looks like. And yeah, okay, it's not turning, and then as you can see, the right detection is working, and then the left detection should also be working. Okay, so now we have a pretty good detection system. Now, as you might notice, this is the front detector isn't really working yet. That's why it's doing that. But yeah, that's okay for now. So let's just okay, so let's just ignore that problem for now. Okay, and let's work on it right now. So, if touching, let's switch on to the center, and then touching color or touching edge. Now, which way should we turn? Now, this is really annoying to figure out. So, what we're gonna do is we're gonna default it to a certain turn, and then with a small chance, we're going to turn the other way. Now, that's how I'm pretty sure that's how I did it before. That's not very good, as you might notice. So, what we're going to do is we're actually going to go ahead and stick this inside one of these touching colors. So, we're going to duplicate this whole thing. Not as a comment. Duplicate, and then we're just going to add this inside this if right here. And we're going to add it inside this if as well. Now, that should work, except the fact that I got these wrong. So, inside the top one, we're just going to change this to a clockwise instead of counterclockwise, like that. Okay, let's see if that works. So, I'm going to add a small little path like this. There we go. And that front detector should be working now a little bit. That's not exactly what I wanted the front detector to do, but it works, so that's fine. So it'll turn twice as much if the front detector is triggered. So, as you can see, that is much better at simulating a car. So that is, actually, I'm pretty sure I forgot to implement that in my other simulation. Now, you might notice that if it hits a wall, so if I just put a dot there, if it hits a wall, it doesn't know what to do. So, look at that. Yeah, as you can see, right now, it doesn't know what to do if it's the front detector, and it hasn't turned at all yet. So, we're going to duplicate this inside thing from the switch costume to center, this bit, and then what we're going to do is, at the very bottom here, actually, first of all, let's create a new block, because this is going to get really messy really fast. So, we're going to create a new block called detect left right. Okay, and run without screen refresh, click OK. And we're just going to go ahead and grab everything below the switch costume to the left, and everything like this. So don't put the switch costume to main body, don't do that. And we're going to put detect left right in there, and then drag the block underneath the move speed steps, and then drag the switch costume back onto the main body below that detect left right. Now this shouldn't have a difference at all. If you want to test it, that's fine. I'm not gonna waste time doing that. Okay, let's create a new one. Let's create a new block called detect right. Sorry, not right. Front, back. Back, actually, I don't really need right now. Back is for something else that I'll explain in shortly. Okay, so detect front. Run without screen refresh, click OK. Now, detect front, we can put that underneath the detect left right. and we're just gonna stick this right in there. So detect front. So we want it to turn a certain angle. Now, since it's the front, we're going to be going head-on at a collision. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to, inside this turn speed, I'm just going to multiply this by 2. 2, like this. And yeah. So let's just see how that looks. So if it just collides head-on with a wall, like that. Oh, okay. It is avoiding it pretty well. Let's see, like that kind of wall. Ooh, yeah. Okay. How about like that? Now it should always turn that way. It will never turn the other way. So that's kind of a problem. So you might want to add a bit of randomness in there. As you can see, this is actually turning out pretty well. So it's kind of like going around in a clockwise direction. Now, I don't want it to always go that way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a random chance for it to go the other way. So if, and grab an equals, if pick random 1 to let's just say 30 is equal to 1, then I'm going to turn the other way. So actually we have to change this to an if else. We'll change that there. And then put this top, we're going to duplicate, actually no. So go to motion, grab the clockwise turning, duplicate this inside, turn speed times 2, and we're going to stick this at the top inside the if, and then the one that's currently being used, the counterclockwise, we're going to put that inside the else. And we're going to stick this whole if else back in there. Now we should see that this is a bit more varied. So let's just see how that looks. We can decrease this chance. I'm just going to set it to 1 to 5 maybe. 1 in 5 so that there's a higher chance. Okay, so now we have a car working, kind of. Now we have a sort of working car simulation. Watch this. So I'm going to create a long path like this, add a loop like this. How about that? So right now the cars should be spawning in, and now you will see that they are going to obey all the rules of traffic. They are going to go around and they are going to follow the road, which is good, which is what we want. Okay, one more thing is I want a bit of variation in this, because this is really boring. The color's really boring, and they're always following the same path, so that's the thing. So what I'm going to do is, at the very top of this when I start as a clone, I'm going to create 2 new variables, rand1 for the sprite only, and rand2 also for the sprite only. And I'm just going to hide these, and I'm just going to, at the very beginning up here, I'm just going to set both of these to random numbers. Now rand1 and rand2. So rand1 is going to be between negative 0.3 and positive 1. How about positive 1.5? These are for the speed, so it will change between 0.7 and 2.5, because I'm going to add these to the current speed. Duplicate that. This is going to be for the turn speed. Don't worry if this doesn't make sense. Just copy my numbers and it should work fine, because I need these numbers to color the sprite later on. So pick random. Let's see. So the turn speed can go between negative 2.0 to, let's say, 9.0. This'll, yeah, okay, this'll pick a random number which has decimals, which is kind of what I want. So yeah, okay. So now we have 2 sets for random numbers. Let's see how we've been recording for 16 minutes. That's fine. Okay, and then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna change our speed and turn speed. So change speed and change turn speed, and we can just stick that under there, and we're going to change speed by rand1, change turn speed by rand2, and then I want to color them based on how random, I guess, they are. So I'm going to go ahead and change color effect by, grab an addition, and grab rand1 and rand2 and add those together. So stick that right underneath all our changes, and let's just see what that looks like. So now we should have much more variation, and if we create a really thin path, only the best ones should survive. So if we create a really twisty path, as you can see, that one's really zippy, so yeah. Now, you can kind of see the color changing, but you can't really see the color changing, so that's kind of a problem. So I want the color to be a bit more visibly, I guess more, so you can see the color a bit better, right? So let's just, we'll see the color changes a bit better. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and multiply this number by 10. 10, like that, and let's see, that should create much more variety in the colors, and the more red ones mean more less varied, and the yellow ones mean more varied. As you can see, there's a blue one which is very fast and has a small turn speed apparently. I guess that, yeah. So this will just show you how random, I suppose, how different these numbers are, or how different these cars are. Let's just multiply that by like 13, let's just say 14. Okay, and now you should get like purple ones and like blue ones and whatnot. It doesn't, yeah. So there's a cool one. Ooh, the cars delete each other. Ooh, that's a problem I didn't think of. Okay. So, so this is actually pretty simple. We have a not touching color here. All we're going to do is we're going to swap that out with a touching color, and we're just going to do the green background like that. And just in case there's a car with that same color, we're just going to grab an and not touching myself. Now, there is no not touching myself. There's only touching painter or pen, right? Now, there's a small trick you can do. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and go into the painter sprite and drag a touching car into there. So now we have a touching car. And then what we're going to do is we're going to drag that into the car sprite. So now you can see that now we have a touching car inside the car sprite, and this will just detect any clones or the actual sprite. So we're just going to stick this and inside the OR, and this should be better. So now you can do pretty much whatever you want. So I'm just going to draw a really big scribble. I just want to see if the edge detection is working. So, oh, there's a big one. There's a fast one, I mean. Okay, as you can see, the speeds are varied, and, ooh, yeah. So they are turning. Now, they are turning too slow. Aha, there we go. So, yeah, so as you can see, they are going both ways, which is good. And the ones that are not able to, there's some that can't make it, and that's because they're too fast or their turn speed is too slow. Now, I'm just going to make like a barrier here. As you can see, you can have a lot of fun with this. So, yeah, do whatever you want. It's going to be really fun. And this is a very simple car simulation. Now, this is... Did that car just go through the green? This is... Aha, that's the problem. So, instead of and touching car, we need a and not touching car. So, and not touching car. There we go. So, let's just test that again. And this should be a lot better. Doesn't seem like any are spawning. Oh, there we go. Okay. Never mind. Okay, so as you can see, they are spawning correctly, and yeah. Okay, so there's one more thing I want to add, which is, in my footage before, there was other car detection. So, it detected if there were other cars in the vicinity and tried to turn away from them. Now, that's the only thing I want to add before this video ends, so let's quickly do that. So, right now I'm going to create a new block called Detect Other Cars. Crabs. Crabs, yes. Okay, cars. Detect other cars, run without screen refresh, click OK. Now, detect cars can go underneath or detect front. So, we're going to go ahead and switch costume to, and we're just going to switch costume to the left. You know what? Instead of doing that, we're going to go ahead and inside detect left right, we're just going to duplicate this whole script, bring it over here. And we're just going to get rid of these switch costume to center, because we don't really need those. And we're just going to leave it like this. And then here, instead of this or, get rid of those, we're going to have a touching car. So grab this touching car block that we got before, and touching car, and then stick that inside our if, and the other if. Oh, not like that. Okay. There we go. So now, this should avoid each other from the left and right. I want it to also detect from the front and back. So, for the front, I want it to rotate and slow down a little bit. So, I'm going to go ahead and switch costume to center. And if I'm still touching the car, I'm going to turn a bit. So, I'm going to turn maybe half of its turn speed. Turn speed divided by 2. And change our speed by -1. Now, make sure this speed doesn't go below 0. So, all we're going to do is, actually, instead of changing speed by -1, I'm going to change speed by -0.2. And I'm going to grab an if greater than, if speed is greater than 1. Now, let's just say 0.4. 0.5, so it'll never go below 0.3. Okay, if speed is greater than 0.5, change speed by -0.2. And just stick that underneath our turn there. And let's just put that there, and let's just see how that looks. So I'm going to create a big arena like I did last time. I'm just going to scribble like that, and like that. And let's just wait for the cars to pile in. And let's just see. Yeah, so as you can see, once they hit a car in front of them, they will turn away. They are only turning in one direction, though, which is kind of annoying. So let's go ahead and grab that if condition here. There we go. And change these to 0.5 and 0.5. Remember that if condition, let's pick random 1 to 5. We're just going to stick that right where it went before. So that was here. And grab this turn speed back. Wait, no, sorry. Keep the if, keep this, and stick this underneath there. So, they should now be kind of avoiding each other. Now, you might be able to see that. Let's just create a long track like this, and then fill this bit in. This. As you can see, they are indeed avoiding each other, which is good, and they are avoiding the wall, so all of this is fine. Now, I want to detect from the back as well, so if there's a car behind me, I want to speed up, because that's just manners. I don't drive, don't worry. Okay, so I'm going to duplicate this switch costume to center and everything underneath it, switch costume to back, and if touching car, then I'm going to use this if here. If speed is, instead of greater than, we need a less than. So if speed is less than, let's just say 2. If speed is less than 2, we're going to change speed by 0.2. Okay. And we can just stick that right underneath there. Okay. And yeah. So let's just check that out. Let's just scribble like that, and there we go. So let's just watch the cars pile in. Okay, again, I want to add some natural random acceleration, deceleration, and turning, but that is for that is after we just test this. As you can see, they are attempting to avoid each other, which is good. And yes, so they seem like they're doing a pretty good job of avoiding each other. Now, of course, some of them have really bad turn speeds or something, which makes them really bad at avoiding each other. But of course, that can't be helped because of the random nature of this. Now, what we want is some random acceleration / deceleration. So I'm gonna create a new block called random. Sorry, this video is getting long. How long is it? 27 minutes. Perfect. Okay. Random speed and turn. Okay. So run without screen refresh. Click OK. random speed and turn. So, what we're going to do is we are going to go ahead and grab a if pick random 1 to 10 is equal to 1. Pick random 1 to 10 is equal to 1. This is for speed, so we're going to go ahead and change speed by pick random negative 0.0. Let's say 4 to 0.4. And we have to make sure that this doesn't go negative, so check if speed is greater than, let's see, 0.8. So 0.8. And also we need to check if it gets too big, so we need to check, so grab an and check if speed is less than, what do we have over there? We have 2, so if speed is less than 2. Okay, let's just set this to like 1.6 so that the max it can go is 2. Also, I kind of want to decrease this a little bit. This is not necessary, I'm just fine-tuning it a little bit. 1.5, just in case. You don't have to do this. You can suit these settings however you want. I just want to do this because these are the settings that I found work really well. Okay, and sorry if I'm like kind of off track or something like that. I don't want to keep these videos too long. Okay, and finally, just duplicate this, and then if pick random, let's say 1 to 10 is fine. Yeah, 1 to 10 is equal to 1. Turn pick random. Let's see, turn pick random negative 1 to 1 degree, 0.0, so that it can also be a decimal. Okay, and let's just try that out. So let's just draw a really big course for the cars to drive in. Now, this is the moment of truth, and if it doesn't work, I'm gonna be really disappointed. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please consider liking or subscribing. Yes, they're turning, yes. You can't really see it, but they are indeed turning randomly. So, yeah, okay. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please try and subscribe and like and share this video with other people. And make sure to follow my Discord. Oh, we've passed 900 subscribers, so that means live stream. So I will see when I can get around to that. Please comment below what time would suit you really well, and just make sure to join if you want to. We're probably gonna do like a live coding session or something while I'm answering Q&As. Okay, so thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and sorry for not uploading for a while. Thank you for watching. See you. Oh, join the Discord. See you at howtodostufwithethan.com, and see you next time.